How would you create this shape? In the past, Extrude couldn't handle these operations and required extra steps to complete. Why not try Smart Extrude? It can directly solve most extrude issues and speed up modeling. You can press Ctrl-Shift-E to quickly activate Smart Extrude, or use the Alt-E Extrude menu. Unlike in 2.0, now the different modes exist independently in the Extrude menu, namely Smart Extrude, Along Normal, and Individual. Smart Extrude is a new extrude mode added in 3.0. The difference from Along Normal is the Group Normal mode, which is also the default for Ctrl-Shift-E. It allows extruding different surfaces using a combined normal, for example, on the top of a cylinder. Here's a comparison using Extrude Along Normal. But Smart Extrude Smart isn't just a name, it's truly smart. It detects your intent to decide whether to use Along Normal or Group Normal. Now the shortcut key for switching modes has been abolished. In the 3.0 version, during extrusion, pressing F9 pops up a menu to switch modes. In the past, pressing F9 would cause a crash, but now it's completely fixed. And now, to move along an axis, you just press the X, Y, Z keys, and the processing speed is much faster than the previous version. You can also notice that more edge information is displayed during extrusion, but if you still want to set the default to Along Normal, you can left-click in the Alt+E menu to remove the shortcut, then reassign the shortcut to Along Normal. Now Ctrl-Shift-E will perform in Along Normal mode, and in Along Normal you can now directly handle overlaps in the preview, which is several times faster than before, and it also adds multiple judgments to evaluate whether to enable intersection with no extra leftover edges. Here are some Smart Extrude tricks. Often, Smart Extrude's subtractive mode gets more attention, but actually the additive mode is equally practical. Additive mode can quickly repair geometry, such as complex concave areas. After Smart Extrude, the object is obviously easier to modify. You can also pair it with limited dissolve, which is much faster than traditional methods. More complex models can also use the same method. During Smart Extrude, you can perform move and scale operations, and you can also align while moving. But remember that to undo these operations, you need to undo based on the number of steps. For example, if I scale and then move after Smart Extrude, there are 3 steps: Smart Extrude, scale, move, and so you need to undo 3 times. And there are some special notes. After completing Smart Extrude, in most cases, undoing once is enough. But if based on axis or with snap mode enabled, each is an additional operation requiring one more undo. Otherwise, leftover faces or vertices will remain, leading to geometry becoming non-manifold. Although in most cases it won't affect Smart Extrude, it's still recommended to undo back to the originally selected face. 3D cursor. You can use the 3D cursor to achieve different alignment effects. In general, the distance is based on the selected face and the snap distance value. When you switch the pivot point to 3D cursor, the alignment changes from the selected face to the 3D cursor, meaning the distance becomes from the 3D cursor to the snap point. Therefore, you can also use the 3D cursor for symmetrical extrudes. The steps are: place the 3D cursor at the symmetry position. During Smart Extrude, press 1 of XYZ. Press the axis you want for symmetry. If I need the Y axis, press Y. Then press S for scale and -1 to complete the symmetrical extrude. At the same time, Smart Extrude only applies to manifold objects. If your object is closed but still can't be used, you can use the 3D print toolbox to check or make the object manifold. The 3D print toolbox is already built into Blender's add-ons. After enabling it, you can check the mesh errors of the object and repair them. Smart Extrude in the 3.0 update focuses on user experience and completeness. In previous versions, the emphasis was on adding features, and with the accumulation of features, it was easy to cause errors, crashes, and performance issues when using Smart Extrude. Therefore, in 3.0, the Python code was rewritten, and various functions were perfected, solving the plugin's error problems from the root. The functional improvements can be experienced in the add-ons menu. When you open Smart Extrude, you can see a new interface. First is the preview mode. In the two versions I released before, there were different preview modes, X-ray mode and result preview. Both have fans, so I added both for users to choose. If switching preview modes has no response, it's because your .blend file has old Smart Extrude nodes. You just need to press Reload Smart Extrude node group to reload, and after loading, the preview mode will change. X-ray mode requires less performance, while the default is more convenient for observing results. I also added key map customization. If needed, you can change to your preferred keys. Remember to press Apply after changing. And Reload Node Group is an important update because using Smart Extrude saves its functions in the .blend file. So when you update to a new version of Smart Extrude, but use a file with old versions or old Smart Extrude, the effect will be the same as the old version. Reload Node Group can quickly fix this issue. In the two options below, one is Auto Topology. Auto Topology, automatically topology, after completing the extrude, the effect is like this, and when turned off, it's like this. You can change based on your needs. And what is Delete Extrude line? Let me show you. After completing the extrude, there will be some leftover lines. And if you don't want leftover lines, you can enable it. When enabled, you'll see the lines are deleted. You can choose based on your needs. Now there will no longer be extrude errors caused by vertex group data because the vertex group is reset before each extrude. So don't save any data to the following vertex groups. The key update in 3.0 is performance. I spent a lot of time on it for performance. In Blender 4.5, compared to version 2.1, after 6 subdivisions with 24K faces, there was already high performance consumption. And at the 7th subdivision nearing 100,000 faces, it was almost unusable. But in 3.0, it remains smooth after 6 subdivisions. And only at the 7th subdivision is there noticeable performance consumption. The speed improvement isn't exclusive to 4.5. In 4.2 to 4.4 versions, there's also a very obvious performance update. Compared to the obvious lag at completion before, now with the same face count, the issue is almost gone. And in 4.2 to 4.4 versions, the biggest update is the preview mode, now with the same effect as in 4.5, but on large models, it might show errors. If needed, you can also change back to X-ray mode in the add-ons menu. I noticed some users have personalized needs. If you want to personalize X-ray mode settings, you can now make changes directly in the add-on menu. Remember to press Apply when you're done. Please remember that Smart Extrude is not a plugin that can completely replace Blender's built-in extrude function, but rather complements the shortcomings of the original function. I hope this plugin can help everyone in modeling. Thanks for watching. Subscribe me to support continuous updates of Smart Extrude. See you in the next video. Goodbye.